How are you?
I'm good. Good, good, good.
How's your day been?
It's been good. We had our diversity day
Oh,
today.
okay.
So it was busy, but
So,
it was good.
did some great things come out of it, or was it just a
Yeah.
normal?
Yeah, some good things came out of it. Just a good conversation. Trying to get to the point of people understanding the word of empathy,
Yeah,
you know. So just because you're not, minority or you're not, different minority groups doesn't mean you can't show empathy, for
that is
another.
very, very true.
Yeah.
So let's start off by telling everybody why you joined the military.
So I'm from Baltimore, and originally, I always wanted to be a police officer,
Okay.
which is, weird, but I always wanted to be a police officer because I wanted to make a change in, where I grew up, in the neighborhood I grew up,
Okay.
but
So where did you grow up in Baltimore?
East Baltimore, so
Okay.
Barkley and Greenmount. I know you said
Yep.
that you did some time in Baltimore, so
Yeah.
you know where
So
that's at.
coming from the Virgin Islands, we moved to Baltimore, but not downtown, not East Baltimore.
Oh yeah, yeah, I was
Like, a little bit down the street though, because it was Catonsville. So
okay, okay.
it was
Yeah,
right on the street.
I was in
But
the
yeah,
hood.
okay. Go ahead.
Nah. But yeah, so I always wanted to do that. So I became a police cadet after I graduated from high school. So I was going to Morgan State, and I was doing a Baltimore City police cadet job. And while I was doing it, we had a Marine guy, and he was like, "Man, you should join the military." He kept talking about joining the military. He's like, you're made for the military." And I was like, "Okay,
Yes.
well." So things happened. So I wound up going in. I actually went in to talk to a Marine recruiter, but the Marine recruiter wasn't in, so the Air Force recruiter snatched me
Hey,
in.
that's what they do.
Yeah, like he was there and he snatched me and he talked to me about it and I was like, well, yeah, sure, I joined the Air Force. And
Yeah.
yeah, it was just, it just worked out that way.
So did you join right after high school or?
No, I did 3 years of college. So
Okay.
I didn't join until I was 21. Did
Okay.
3 years of college before I
Okay.
joined. Yeah.
So coming in, did you have like an expectation, or did you just was it just like I'm coming in and I'm new, this is it?
Well, so funny story is my the job I picked was security forces. That was my number one pick, was security forces.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's weird because I didn't get it. And a lot of people's like,
Wow.
how did you not get security forces and you pick security forces? So I always say
I mean,
somebody was praying for me and looking out
God
for me.
had your
'Cause-
back, because
yeah,
let me tell you, I came in and they were trying to get me to go into security forces
yeah,
because that was the hot time. Everybody was
yeah,
like, "This, that's where you need to be," and I'm
yeah,
like, okay. And then when I seen what they was doing, I was like, yeah,
yeah. Especially if you're open general,
yes,
you might as well say you're going to security forces.
that's what went down. It was when I joined, I could no longer you can no longer pick your job,
Hmm.
but my recruiter. Well, I guess you could pick your job, but my recruiter was being slick faced and he
Yeah.
was trying to get his quota. So I
Hmm.
ended up going up open general because he was like, "Well, I think security forces is it for you." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, oh, that sounds great." Like
That's how they get you.
I told him I wanted to be a lawyer, security forces lawyer. In my head, it's like, oh,
They got you.
okay, yeah, he got me. He got me because I didn't know nothing, and I couldn't lift the 70 pounds over my head, so we were good to go. But
Oh, okay.
I could lift it, but I flip flopped my hands, and the lady was like, "No, you can't do it." Now I was like, oh, "What do you mean? Like I can't try again?" She was like, "No." At this point, thank you, sweet baby Jesus, because
You got saved.
I don't think I would have made it 20 years
Oh
in
no.
security forces. But
Yeah.
how many times have you deployed?
I've deployed twice.
Okay.
My first one was to Afghanistan, and my recent one was I got back in 2019. That was to Kuwait. I went to Al Jaber in Kuwait.
Was it like, do you feel as though the one to Afghanistan was, were you in like in the mix of things, or were you just on the base?
No, I was just on the base. I worked in the armory. First deployment, I was a staff. I had just put on staff, and it's a good experience. Being on that base, and I know we're getting bombed. Like
Yeah,
bad, but it was a good experience because my UDM, he was a civilian. He told me, he was like, I don't want you to be a staff sergeant. You're supervising, and
yeah.
you never
You ain't never
deployed.
gone
So
nowhere.
he's like, yeah, I want you to go on this deployment, and like it actually, it worked out. It was a great experience. I mean, even though it had its moments, but
I mean, it always has its moment, right? But
yeah,
it's how we look at it and how we
yeah,
see the difference.
it
So,
is.
what job do you do?
I am logistics. I'm supply. So right now, I am the superintendent of strategic airlift flight. So
Nice.
that consists of doing enterprise, MICAP, and sustainment for the C5 and C17s
Okay.
across
And
the Air
you're
Force.
what base?
I'm at Scott.
We met at Scott.
Yes.
So
And
you've been at Scott this long?
no,
Oh
I've been here for a long time. So out of my 12 years, I've been at Scott for 10.
my God.
Yeah. So I was here for 6 years, left for two and some change, got PCS right back. So
I mean, it's got to be something you need to accomplish at Scott. It's got to
I
be.
think I've accomplished
You
everything.
think so?
I think so. I think, I got sent for a second time around, but
But you got an assignment now, right?
yes, I'll be going to back to California, but this time I'll be at Travis. I'll be at Travis Air Force Base this time. So
I mean, at this point, it's something between Scott and California that you need to get done, like that you
yeah,
just ain't doing.
yeah. I just feel like I have unfinished business in California. I feel being
Yeah.
there for 2.5 years and what I experienced and what caused me to go back to Scott in the first place. I just think it's like unfinished business
So,
for me.
what do you plan? What are your plans? Like, are you continuing to you going to retirement, or are you gonna end it soon? What are we doing?
Nah, so it's retirement.
Okay.
Um, it's retirement. If my wife tell I don't have a choice,
I
but
mean, at this point,
yeah,
we crossed over that 10 pimp. We stay.
yeah. So hitting 12 and having 8 more years to go.
Yeah.
It's like I might as well just suck it up. I know
So,
when I first
yeah.
joined, I had all the intentions of, and it's still there of trying to be chief master sergeant in the Air Force, and
Hey,
that
you
was
still
the
got
ultimate
you still
goal.
got some time, sir. We just got the new one.
I don't know, it's a lot.
It
It's
is.
a
It's a lot, but you know what? You would never get more put on you than you can handle.
That's right.
So at this point, what keeps you going though?
So what keeps me going? Well, number one is my family.
Yep.
That's the number one for me. My wife, my two sons. That's my number one. That's what keeps me going. I know it's hard. My wife actually used to be active duty, but she
Okay.
got out because we didn't want to have a situation where we both had to deploy. So,
Yes.
it's like I make sure I'm successful and progress in the military, not just for myself, but
Yeah.
for her and also for my kids. But
That's
yeah, it's that, and then just the thing of taking care of airmen. That's what I love to do. I
yes.
love to just have the ability to talk to airmen and not necessarily talking to them, with the military. Hey,
Yeah.
I talk to airmen and help them decide what's best for their life, not just
Yes.
hey, stay in the military. No,
Yes.
so that's what it is for me.
The military will it'll always be there no matter
Oh
what,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
but you got to take care of self and what's best for you. Like if 20 years is your best thing, or like this ain't your potential is way past the military, use it for what you need to get out of it, and
oh
then
yeah,
take yourself to the next level. Don't stick in there because somebody told you can't do no better. And that's the problem with a lot of the kids today. Somebody's telling them, oh, don't
yeah.
don't give it up because you think, but that for me that smishes their potential to do what they're
Hmm.
able to do or more. And a lot of these kids come in and they just trying to party and do all this stuff instead of taking the opportunities that the military give you, like school. I mean, yeah, you may not want it, but
Hmm.
take it for what take that free TA,
Yeah.
100%. Like, take that money and get what you need and
Yeah.
figure out, like, make it, like, truly, people need to sit down and make a plan and
Oh yeah.
decide, like, what do I want to do if this military don't work?
Yeah.
Because tomorrow they could decide, well, we're gonna force shape this military again one more time, and we're gonna put
Yep.
everybody out. Like,
Yeah.
we're gonna pick and choose. Okay, yeah, you're gonna go. You just
Yeah.
or just because I don't like you. And that's what people gotta understand is the choices that are made are by that person at the time.
Hmm.
And I've seen a lot of guys that they thought they were good, they were going through their career, and
Yeah.
the name came up on that list, and they were mad.
Yeah.
But you can't be mad because you put yourself in that predicament. You didn't. They didn't. Somebody didn't look at you like, you know what, you're worth keeping, and that's
Hmm.
what it boils down to. It's like it ain't how much you think you're doing; it's what somebody else thinks you're doing for them.
Yeah. That's a lot for the military. You can work hard, and I think that's my biggest thing. When you go out here and you work hard and you do what you're supposed to do every day, and sometimes you it's just the luck of the draw. You get a supervisor that doesn't appreciate what you do, or
Yes.
they take everything you do and they put it for themselves, and then when it's time to do your EPR, they just, you know, pencil
Yep.
whip
It's
through
mine.
it and
It's
turn
mine.
it in.
Yep,
Yeah.
this is mine. This I did this. Like, they didn't do nothing. They just,
Hmm.
but you know, for me, people like that, it's a full circle, right?
Oh yeah.
You claim somebody else's win, but then when you come up for that, okay, you need to show us what you did again because we need to duplicate this.
Yeah. You have no choice but to go back to the
But
person actually.
you going back to
Right.
that same airman, and I believe, like, my entire career, I believe that the airmen, regardless of what they did, they ran the show.
Right.
They knew more, they did more, and it's like the
Oh
amount of
yeah.
work that's put on an airman it surpasses anything else because people continuously think, well, you're young, you don't know nothing, but those airmen who run the show. Like, for me, they be like, "Oh yeah, I'm a tech sergeant, I'm a master sergeant, I think I know better." No, I'm gonna go ahead and listen to what this airman said because
Yeah.
you
The
just
airmen.
you was just watching them.
Yeah. The airmen do the job every day. So I
Yes,
always tell my airmen, like, look, you don't work for me, I work for you. I tell supervisors that too. I tell airmen, look, make your supervisor work for you. Because at the end of the day, you do the job. You complete the
yes,
task every day. You are the subject matter expert. So we need something, we come to you. We work for you. Our job is to take care of you, protect you, to make sure you can
yes,
do the job every day.
yes. So for me, what would you say to somebody trying to come in brand new to the Air Force? What would you say to them?
Um, I would say, like we were saying earlier, use the opportunities that are available. The greatest advice that one of my mentors ever gave me was whenever you come up for reenlistment, market yourself. Make yourself marketable. So if you decide to walk away, you know, walk away. See what's out there. Take the opportunity. Use that TA, like you said, use that TA. Get your degree. When you come up for that reenlistment, you got your degree, you got all these certifications. See what's out there.
Yes.
Take that time because you can reenlist up to your last day. If
Heck yeah.
Yeah, if nothing out there that interests you, or the money is not going to be more than what you're making now in the military, then you can always realist on the last
Yes.
day.
Yes.
um so I would say, take advantage of the military and all the opportunities that it gives you, because the military is going to take advantage of you, hands down.
All the
And
time.
oh yeah. And secondly, don't be surprised. um I know a lot of times, people join, like what we go through now with diversity and inclusion stuff. A lot of people join and think you're going to get away from those things, but you're not.
You know.
People have to understand, we recruit from society. So everything that's in society comes to the military. So
Yes.
don't come in thinking everything is rainbows and sunshine and equitable treatment, because it's not all the way across the board.
They're still hidden. They're still like
Hmm.
it may not be as broad as it is outside because they
Oh
still have
yeah.
to put up that military bearing.
Right.
But in
Hmm.
reality, when nobody's watching, their true colors always come out.
Oh yeah. Of
They will
course.
always show you who they truly are. And at
Hmm.
this point, I, me personally, I think it's you being always keeping your mental on the fact that don't let that person
Yeah.
steal what you earned.
That's right.
Because in reality, yes, you can call me all the names you want, but if
Hmm.
my work ethic is surpassing what you're saying out your mouth, it don't
Yeah.
matter what you're saying. You can say whatever you want. The dumb person will believe you, but the
Oh yeah.
truth will always speak volumes.
Oh
Because
yeah.
but and see, the thing is, a lot of people still they go back to where they came from, right? Like it's
Right.
always like, I'm from the street. You ain't gonna speak to me like that. Like you ain't gonna do this. I'm
Yeah.
I'm this. But you know what? I've learned throughout the years, always take the higher road, because they will always bring back to like, yeah, we knew you was ghetto anyway. We knew where you was going. We knew where you came from. You sure right? I did come from there. But I'm
Yeah.
gonna let you know again. This ain't the road we gonna always take, because
Yeah.
I'm going to always show you better than I could tell you that I'm gonna
Oh,
always get on top. Like, and
oh
that's what
yeah.
you need to understand. It's like, if you play the cards right, and
Hmm.
that's what it is. You got to play the game. Like always, it's like people think, oh, I'm not playing that game. Play the game,
Yeah.
because in reality, you're still going to get what you need from the military, regardless.
Hmm.
But
Right.
you always going to deal with crap people, right?
Right.
Because there's always somebody out there who's miserable, who's trying to
Hmm.
take everybody else down, who wants everybody to be miserable with them. But
Oh
in
yeah.
reality, it's like, what are you trying to get out of this situation is what you need to look at it. And that's what a
Yeah.
lot of the airmen need to know. What do you want out of this? Do you just want a paycheck, or do you want something that's going to take you to the next level? Because
Right.
that's where I think people need to be. That next level. It's like always be looking at what your next step is. Like
Yeah.
when it comes to studying,
Yeah.
what I mean, me coming up, like I know when I tested for staff, right?
Hmm.
I would be at my dad. I was single, I lived by myself. I had
Hmm.
the way my house was set. I had a dining room table. I could see into the living room, and I would have the TV playing. And on the commercials, I would pause and read, because for me, it was like, my dedication. It's like
Right.
I still want to be able to. My mind, it can't sit there forever. So if I got into a good piece, because we read the history part, it's like, oh my god,
Yeah.
how many people been in this?
Yeah.
What is
Yeah.
these people?
The
But then when
history is the killer.
you get to a good part, you're like, oh, I can read this whole entire chapter. But that history you got to break up into a couple
Hmm.
sections.
Oh yeah.
But because sometimes it's like people think like, oh, that ain't gonna be on the test, but you never
Hmm.
know what they pull from that test.
They
So
can pull anything, front cover to the back cover, like
oh,
anything. I know for me, studying wise, I always told people, um, my thing is repetition.
yes,
So I would always start about 6 months out.
yes,
Um, Start 6 months out. I use the it's called something else now, but at that time it's called the MKTS.
yeah,
I would use MKTS and try to level my studying off of that. So 9 times out of 10, this is going to be on the test.
yes,
Start with that section,
yes.
read it. I would go through each volume of my CDCs probably about 10 times a piece, and I got so good at it that I could grade myself before I even walked out of the room.
Nice.
So it hurt. My brain hurt, but
Hey, but
paid
a
off.
paycheck is sure gonna make
That's
it
right.
worth it in the end.
Yeah,
And
that's
that
right.
this the end game is what we need to be looking at. Because if you know
Hmm.
you're gonna go to 20,
Yeah,
what's your end game? For me, I was like, I'm done. Like I had my
yeah,
daughter, and I was like, I'm done. I
yeah,
just I don't want to commit to this anymore.
yeah,
I'm gonna take it to my 20, but for me, she's more important. So I'm
yeah,
just gonna, like I said, I'm gonna get my degree, and I'm gonna take it as far as I can go. That the military will let me go,
yeah,
and this is where it's at. I
yeah,
just for me, that my why was her, and
yeah,
I got to my retirement, and I'm good, you
yeah.
know? And for me, I want to tell a lot of people that even you need to, if you're hurting, go to the doctor.
Yeah.
If
People tell me that it's yeah.
if your knees
I
hurt,
need to.
go to the doctor.
That's
And
that's
I'm not sure why that came up with you, because I've never talked about this with anybody else. But
yeah.
I feel like you need to know that if
Because I don't go like
you need to go.
yeah,
I mean, your eye twitching, go to the doctor.
yeah. That's what everybody say.
Go to the
Yeah,
doctor.
Yeah.
Get it all written down. And when they tell you take physical therapy, take the physical therapy, take the
Hmm.
in-house physical therapy as much as you can take it. And then when you're done, then when they say, okay, hey, does it still hurt? Yeah, it hurts a little bit. Okay, well, we have some exercises you can do at home, but you
Right.
keep going back. You keep going back.
Gotcha.
Don't
Yeah.
We could talk about it offline in more in depth,
Yeah, I
but
got you.
you gotta, everything that, I mean, when I tell you your toe hurt, you need to go. Anything that hurts, you need to go, because you will continue to build up your records. And
Right.
because when the VA looks at your records, they look at how consistently you went, how much time you went. And it's like, if your
Mm,
percentage, so say you go for your knee and then your knee stops hurting and then something else happens, right? So you go back for another piece of your body. Now you've only went for 6 months, but if you consistently go to the doctor for that knee pain,
right.
they will see that you've been going consistently, and that's where your percentage is rated off of that. So
Gotcha.
you have to set yourself up for the end game, because you're going to 20. You have to set yourself up for that, because
Right.
people, they always say, well, I only did this.
Right.
No, this is what you deserve. You
Hmm.
don't you don't get to do 20 years in the military and then just say, well, okay, they gave me 15%, they gave me 20%.
Right.
No, sir. You're going to go ahead and get your 100%, and you're going to get that because you showed them that this ain't. And I remember when I went on my first deployment, we went
Hmm.
to Qatar, and when I got back, they were like, "Oh, we were filling out the paperwork." Even when I went to Iraq, when we got back, they were like, "Just,
Right.
just, just fill something out and just move on. You don't want to go through all of that." No, you do.
Yeah.
100% do. If you were bombed, if you were attacked, if you were thing, that all affects you in the
Oh
end.
yeah.
It
Burn
doesn't
pit and everything.
it doesn't go away. And it's like, people kill me. And I truly wish that I would have known this earlier, because every single time you deploy, every single thing you do in the military, if you didn't come in, you wouldn't have been there, right?
Right.
Like,
True statement.
you would have been on the streets, but some of the stuff that happened in that, you wouldn't have been on at home.
Right.
So why not get paid for what you went through defending the country,
Yeah.
right? So
That's true.
the mental of the doctors, you don't need to go to the doctor. You
Hmm.
need to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
You need to start filling that file and just be like, you know what?
Yeah.
I got an appointment.
Right.
I'm gonna be right back. Come back.
Nah.
But you know what? You have an appointment. Get an appointment and do what you need to do for you.
Right.
So, off my soapbox of the VA. But I'm gonna do a show on that one. We're gonna talk about the VA. We're gonna talk to
Okay.
retirees that have went through the VA and who have actually got their 100% and what they did to get
Mm,
it. Because at this point, that's where it's at. That is
okay.
that right there should be everybody's goal. Like,
Right.
you did your time, now get what you deserve. Because
Right.
I believe that everybody deserves 100%. Everybody deserves that tag.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
Yeah.
So,
I agree.
but is there anything you feel as though you want to share that's on your heart, anything outside the military, what you pursuing, something that makes your heart smile that you want to share with everybody?
Um. So right now, I know for me, it's like I'm big on like diversity and inclusion.
Yep.
That that's the thing. I know you see me posting all the time
Yep.
and stuff like that. But it's just highlighting things that I feel a lot of people are not aware of, or a lot of things that people don't know.
Yeah.
And it's not even necessarily for non-African Americans or whatever. It's for African Americans as well, because a lot of people aren't educated on the history that we have. I know it's tough for me at first because a lot of people they judge you. They put the stigma on you. Oh, you only care about black troops, and no, that's not true.
Yeah.
That's not true at all. I want to pave a way uh, for troops after me,
Yes.
so they won't experience the things that we're experiencing now.
Yes.
Yes, but it's the one. It can be a headache. It gives me a headache, but it also makes me smile when you can sit around the table and have an open and honest conversation,
Yes.
about different things, or when people give you the time to say, hey, have you thought about this? This is a historical thing for you to think about, before you give your opinion on it, you know. And if you're not, African American, if you're not Hispanic, you're not a female, this is maybe something you should think about before you give
Yeah.
your opinion, you know. So I'm big on that, and it's not even just that, that, and then my kids, a lot of things. Having two young black boys is,
Yes.
extremely important to me, and being able to spread as much knowledge and information to other people will hopefully create a better future in society for them, because I have to pass on that information to
Yeah.
them, you
Hmm.
know, because they're going to go to school and they're going to get taught certain things in history and stuff, but I want to be able to expand their mind deeper, to look at things deeper, But that's the major thing for me, and just taking care of my airmen in the military and trying not to be that typical, hey, I'm the master sergeant, I know everything. That's the one thing I avoid. I love building relationships with airmen to where they don't see me, as Master Sergeant Brown. They see me as just me.
Yeah.
They're comfortable coming to me, talking to me about anything. That's what I like. That's the relationships I like to set up.
Very
You know.
nice.
Yeah.
So something came to me while you were speaking, and I
Mm-mm.
tell you that you need to be very clear on what you want to do. You need to write it down and be very clear on
Yeah.
what you want to go, the direction you want to go.
Yeah.
It needs to be written,
Yeah.
and you need to be sure that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
So get you a little journal and write it down. And when I tell you be clear,
Yeah.
it's too like you talked about. Your future, your past, your present, whatever it is. You wanted to be a chief master in the Air Force. If that's what you want, you gotta write it down.
Yeah.
And
It's slowly
if you
as
don't want
time
it no more,
comes.
it's cool. It
Yeah.
is absolutely fine.
Yeah.
But you need to be clear on where you want to go, because
Yeah.
that's where we create everything we want.
That's true. I
Absolutely
believe
everything.
that. Yeah.
So you like I'm telling you, you're the first person that has come to. So it has to be something that you need to do. Like you
Right.
need to be very clear on what you want. You need to write it down and be clear. And when I say clear, like how is it going to play out for y'all? Like, do you want to be in California? Do you want to be wherever you want to be?
Right.
That's where you need to create it. And like I'm like down to the house you want, down to the life you want to live, down to the things you want to do for you and your family. It needs to be written and created, because that's where it all will play out and
Yeah.
will all start to fall in place, because you the things that you're creating and the things that you're setting yourself up and your kids, it is not just something that is meant to be swept under the rug. It's something
Right.
that will be where this legacy that you've left and that path you've paved for the airmen that come behind you, you're the one that can create that path for them. Because if they, it's like when people come in, they're like, oh yeah, I'm just here to get a paycheck. But
Yeah. It's a
in,
lot of them like that.
in the end, yes, you can do that, but where does that get you?
Mm-hmm.
Where does it get you?
Yeah.
So, but yeah. Well, is there anything else you want to share?
No, just thankful for the opportunity and
Oh
great
yes.
conversation. When you told me that, you want me to do it, I was okay. Well, maybe I'm out here doing something. Doing something right. But
Hey, I mean,
yeah,
I see your posts. I see what you're doing, and your thoughts about doing a podcast. If that's where you want to go,
yeah,
it's
I'm at
there.
50% right
Yeah,
now.
we flip floppy, right? Like,
I'm building myself up to it. But
hey, I mean, you know what? Just take the step. If you
yeah,
don't like it, you don't have to do it anymore. But
yeah,
the first step is to actually just do it.
yeah,
And there's so many, even on Facebook, there you can do it on here. There's so many things so many avenues you can take to where you can just go live and just speak your mind, and
yeah,
people they will come. They
yeah.
will come.
Yeah, I
So
had a lot of people like, "Hey, you should do it. You should do
just
it. I listen. I listen. You should do it." I
tour
know
it.
being in the military, I'll be limited on
Yes.
certain things I
And
can
that's fine.
say
You know
and
what I'm
do.
saying?
But
Like
right.
but it's setting that groundwork for you to take
Hmm.
yourself past surpassing what you thought you can do. So
Right.
if that's what you want to do,
Yeah.
I got you. I'm number one supporter too. We're doing
Oh
this.
yeah, you'll be on there. I owe you one. You know.
No, it's all. I mean, you ain't even listen. I'll be right there watching every single show. We like and we subscribe, and we doing big things. Doing
That's right.
big. That's all. But I'm very excited to see where you're gonna go and how you're gonna take whatever you plan on doing for the
Yes.
military, for you, for your family, for everything
Yeah.
that you have set to do, and see how far you can take it. Because
Yeah.
you are only your limit.
Yeah.
You limit yourself. So
That's right.
no, take this. A no doesn't mean no. It means not right now or not that.
Yeah.
So it's
Hey,
always
that's
something better.
hey, you ain't got. I know that. I don't take no for an answer. I go however many levels you want me to
Yes.
go. But
Hey, oh, you said no? Okay, I'm gonna ask somebody else.
yeah,
You
I go
just
to your boss.
yeah. We're gonna talk to the man that you work for because
That's right. It's always levels. So
that's people always think that
yeah.
just because one person said no, that's just their closed mindedness, and that's what
Oh
it boils
yeah.
down to. Like there's so much closed people close their mind down and don't even say, well, you know what? Maybe somebody else might appreciate what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
You just gotta try it.
Yeah.
But yes, so
Yeah.
thank you for sharing this space with me.
Of course.
Look
Of
forward
course.
to
Anytime.
speaking to you again.
Yeah.
All
Same
right.
here. Thank you.
Have an amazing night.
All right. You too.
Bye bye.